Well, what is this? A new Bunjie? Well, a few months ago on the Facebook page, I posted pictures of this new crossbow. It was a gift from a friend of Bunjie who wishes to remain anonymous. Can you believe that? So I'm not going to reveal who it's from, but I want to say right now, thank you very much. It has totally changed the face of Death by Bunjie going forward in a lot of very positive ways. The only stipulation on this gift really was that the person who gave it to us wanted to see how it unfolded in Death by Bunjie, how it changed Death by Bunjie, how it played out in future Death by Bunjie videos. And I'm excited to say that once we received this, my daughter Genevieve got very interested in crossbows and even crossbow hunting. Can you believe that?
We didn't even know it was coming, honestly, because Mom got back from the post office and she just said that the crossbow was here and we didn't know what she was talking about. Dad came home from work, he was really excited, I was really excited. So we just got home and opened it up, and we weren't expecting really something that was this good and perfect. We just thought it was something neat that someone was going to give us. And it turns out it's perfect, and it shoots really well, so this is becoming a regular part of our Death by Bunjie team.
Now, Genevieve has grown up with me the last 10 years or so, hunting very steadily with a crossbow, making these videos. You have seen her in countless videos, helping out her old man, going with food plots and helping me out with hunting. She's helped me track deer, helped me drag them out of the woods, the whole bit. She has been exposed to crossbows and crossbow hunting for the last 10 years, really for more than half of her life.
You found it.
Every year, I've required her to go hunting with me at least one time to make sure that she's exposed to that. And really, she doesn't like to sit. She gets bored. She doesn't want to spend all that much time in the woods. She did hunt with me in spring gobbler, where I'll fill you in, we did not have any success. That's why you didn't see a spring gobbler hunt this year. But we did make several efforts and we did go out several times. But when we got this gift, it actually changed her a little bit. She got this and suddenly she was interested in it. Now, years ago, when she was a little kid, she fired Bunjie back there. You see Bunjie in the background back here. Years ago, when she was little, she shot that crossbow. She didn't have much trouble with it. She was able to shoot it. She was able to hit the target okay. But it's kind of big for her. It's very loud, it vibrates an awful lot, and Genevieve really does not have much interest in loud things.
I remember shooting Bunjie way back in the day, but I haven't done it recently, and it's a lot heavier than this crossbow. I can hold this crossbow all day on my shoulder and it's fine, but Bunjie I wouldn't be able to do that. I can't cock Bunjie either, but whatever.
So for the most part, it has been a game changer for her, and it sparked her interest right off the bat. It didn't take long for her to sort of claim this as her own. So she has started shooting with me. We've been out in the backyard. This crossbow is a micro suppressor 355 from Excalibur. It is a great little machine and it's very impressive. In fact, me shooting this crossbow does get me thinking quite a bit about upgrades. I know I talked in a podcast, the crossbow hunting podcast with Robert Bashaw. He and I talked briefly about the crossbows and Bunjie, of course, but I did mention in there that it might be time for an upgrade for Bunjie. And shooting this crossbow, there's a lot about this crossbow that makes me think, yeah, it's time for an upgrade. This thing shoots an extra 50, 60, 70 feet per second faster than my crossbow. That allows me a few more options. Now, speed isn't everything. I've made plenty of videos about that. I haven't changed my mind on that subject, but an extra 50 or 60 feet per second is an attractive thing. It is something that gets you thinking. When we talk about deer jumping the string, all that sort of thing, a faster arrow, once you get 350 feet per second versus 300, does it make a difference? Probably not that much of a difference, but what it does give me is the opportunity, that extra speed can give you the opportunity to have a greater, broader spectrum of arrow selection. I can shoot faster, still stay in a ballpark of 340, 350 feet per second with a much heavier broadhead, a heavier arrow setup. Just another option. It's just additional options. So that is attractive to me. I've always been interested in the very small frame. Again, I'm not sponsored by Excalibur, but I like the smaller limbs. Bunjie has ridiculously large limbs. I'll show you a comparison here, but Bunjie's limbs are so much broader on this that it does restrict your options, not only in a blind where you're confined, but even in a tree stand, swinging left to right, all that sort of thing, does affect your ability to sort of get on a deer, get on an animal, and adjust your shots. The smaller limbs certainly are better suited for that more compact style of hunting.
Well, as you can tell, it looks pretty much identical to Bunjie. I mean, there's obviously some new improvements, but it's not that different from Bunjie. It's a camo recurve, so it's all kind of the same thing to me. So we named it Bunjie Junior because it's a small little Bunjie.
We dressed up this crossbow a little bit. I put on some Dr. stirrups. I always wanted to check out the Dr. stirrup products. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not sponsored by Excalibur. I'm not sponsored by any of these products or anything like that. And I'm happy to try out products and let you know what I think about them. That's just how it is. This Dr. stirrups, these are the little things that go on a limb to sort of quiet it a little bit more. We took off the ones that came with it and put these on there. They seem to work just fine. I don't know if it makes much difference in terms of the volume. Like I've said before, there isn't really a way to make crossbows quiet. Too much energy going on here for them to be quiet. Change the string out. She likes the neon green. We went with that. We've attached the X shocks. We'll see how long those last. So far, so good. I actually glued them on there with goat tough glue, the glue that you use for gluing fletchings on. Glued them on there, left them for 24 hours or something like that, and they have stayed put, despite the massive amount of energy this crossbow releases every time you pull the trigger.
This sling was made by a friend of Bunjie, Gary Rose, and it's actually something you can use if you get lost in the woods or something, because if you unravel all of it, it becomes a really strong cord that's really long, and you can use it for pretty much anything you need. So that's really nice. And it's also really comfortable, so you can just throw it over your shoulder. You can... It's just really nice. I like it.
Now, I posted a lot of this information on the Facebook page already, so bear with me if you've already read it. But people are going to find this interesting. The Micro Suppressor 355 from Excalibur, that's what this crossbow is. That crossbow in our backyard tests here with a 100 grain field point, 265 or so grain arrow, just the standard arrows, the quills that came with it, shooting around 362 feet per second. In fact, with that arrow setup, we never shot less than 360 feet per second. It has yet to go through the chronograph under 360 feet per second. So that's awesome. Plenty of speed to work with on this crossbow. That's pretty exciting. We put a 150 grain field point on those standard stock quill arrows. With that setup, we're shooting around 343 to 351 feet per second. There's a little bit of a range there, but we've been changing brace height as well. Right now, the current setup most recently around 350, 351 feet per second out of that crossbow with a 150 grain field point.
Something that surprised us about this crossbow was that it actually shoots 16.5-inch arrows called quills. So it's hard to confuse the two with Bunjie. I was kind of worried about that, mixing parts up and all that, but we don't have any problem with that. I like the name quills, it just sounds cute.
So in the end, as I love this crossbow, I really do. I appreciate this gift more than I can express in words. I really do. The chance to hunt with my daughter, the opportunity to have my daughter excited about spending time in the backyard with me with crossbows means an awful lot to me. And those of you who've watched Death by Bunjie, you know that. If you read my book, The Death by Bunjie Crossbow Story, Confessions of a Crossbow Hunter. I'm very excited about that book, and that book details 10 years of me hunting with the same crossbow. 10 years of me hunting with Bunjie, who's seated behind me over there. If you read my book, you'll know how much crossbows and crossbow hunting mean to me. I love this crossbow, but it's made me appreciate how simple and basic Bunjie is. I mean, it's just a limbs with a string on them practically compared to this. It doesn't have the anti-dry fire, doesn't have the need for a cocking mechanism, all that sort of thing. So Bunjie's pretty basic, pretty rudimentary, but it's pretty cool. So, and I'm playing around with things. Crossbow Appreciation Month here coming up. We're gonna have a whole bunch of videos on different topics related to Bunjie. And this crossbow as well. Heavier arrows, heavier broadheads, more front of center loaded arrows. We'll talk about those topics going forward. What do they mean for Bunjie? What do they mean for Bunjie Junior? Time will tell. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you come back for the rest of Crossbow Appreciation Month.
Thank you to the friend of Bunjie who sent this crossbow to us. I don't think I would have gotten into crossbows as early as I did if I didn't get this crossbow in the mail. It's not something that I had just planned on doing, so it came along at a good time, and I'm just really thankful for it.
Thank you once again from the bottom of my heart to the friend of Bunjie that sent us this crossbow. It has changed an awful lot going forward. In fact, it might change some of the ways that we hunt in the fall, because Genevieve has expressed an interest in not only going to the meet and greet and hunting with us there. She will be doing that. I can tell you right now, in a week or so, you'll be watching videos of us getting prepared for that. And then Saturday, August 15th, we'll live stream from the meet and greet, and we'll send you some videos of that as well down the road. So I'm very excited about that and that opportunity. Please stay tuned to Death by Bunjie for more on those topics. But Genevieve has even expressed an interest in deer hunting with me, hunting with a crossbow, hunting with me and Bunjie, and I look forward to that opportunity down the road with her and sharing that with you. This might be the year, 2020 might be the year where Genevieve becomes a second generation crossbow hunter. Can you believe that? A second generation crossbow hunter. I don't know too many of those. In fact, I don't know any of them.
And one more thing. All hail Bunjie Jr.
Oh, you're sweating. Bunjie also does not have anti-dry fire. Bunjie does not have, what else doesn't Bunjie have? There's something else. No. Come on. That's going to sound great on this lapel mic. Now, why do we not just do this? Let's put this here and this here. We will put this dude right here. I don't think that's going to show. No. Nope, not going to show. Not a problem. Not a problem. Boom. Death by Bunjie is a show on YouTube about crossbows. I'm Rich Wilson. Bunjie is behind me. So is Bunjie Jr., my daughter's new crossbow. Oh, we're not going to say that yet. Not going to say that yet. That comes out after. Okay.